Lily. Today I'm going to read you Lizzie, Zipmouth, Jacqueline Wilson level chapter 5. I was sometimes a very, very bad girl at Mom and Sam's place. I'd been a good girl with my first stepdad. They weren't going to catch me out again. Sam couldn't fool me. He turned out to be mean and scary like my first stepdad. Maybe he'd even be worse. So if Sam did the cooking, I wouldn't eat any of it, even if it was one of my favorites. Like pizza, it was Sam chose video. If Sam chose a video, I turned my chair around and I wouldn't watch it, even when it was Little Woman with Black Beauty or the Secret Garden. If Sam brought us ice creams, when we were out, I wouldn't eat mine, not even when it was one of those big white ice creams with the strawberry sauce and the chocolate flake. My mouth watered, but I didn't even have one lick. The ice cream melted and dripped down inside my sleeve. Honestly, Lizzie, why do you have to be so silly? Said Mom, sighing as she threw my ice cream into gutter. Sam sighed too. I was sure he was going to shout at me this time, but he didn't. He asked me if I'd go over and see Great Grand again. Oh, Dad, do we have to? Said Rory. I thought we only saw Great Grand on Sundays. We can't play properly at Great Grand's. There's nothing to do, said Jake. This is a special invitation for Lizzie, said Sam. Shall I drive you over there after tea? I didn't know what to do. I wanted to go and see Great Grand and her daughters very, very much, but I didn't want Sam to take me. I looked at Mom. I can't drive Sam's car, Lizzie, she said. I still looked at her. I can't come too. I have to stay here to keep an eye on Laurie and Jake, says Mom. I looked at Mom. I looked at Sam. Coming, Lizzie? Said Sam. I didn't say anything. I just gave a little nod. Sam had to strap me into the seatbelt in the back of the car. Comfy? He said. I gave another teeny jerk of the head. Sam played music as we drove, silly old children's songs about pink toothbrushes and mice with cloaks and circus elephants. Sam sang them all. Feel free to join it, he said. I didn't sing, but my dangling feet did a little secret dance as Sam sang a song about a tiny house in a place with a very, very long, funny name. Sam took me into Great Grand's flat, but he didn't stay. He said he'd come back for me in an hour. She'll probably be a bit bored in 10 minutes, said Great Grand. I wasn't the slightest bit bored. I had the most wonderful time ever. Great Grand let me go on another tour around her flat. I looked at the dolls on shelves, the doors on chairs, the doors on the window sills, the doors in their nightcloth ready for bed. Then I looked hopefully at Great Grand. She looked back at me. What? She said. Her eyes were gleaming as brightly as the doors. I swallowed. My voice sounded rusty when I used it. Could I see the doors in the trunk? I whispered. Could I see the doors in the trunk? I whispered. Speak up, said Great Grand, and remember to say please. Please, I could see the doors in the trunk. Please, I said so loud that I nearly set the doors on the shelves blinking. Certainly, said Great Grand. That's a very good girl. Come along then. You can help me get them out. She kept the trunk in the back of her built-in wardrobe. There were two, one on top of the other. I had to stand on tiptoe to reach the top one. Easy does it, says Great Grand. I went easy. I felt I was in slow motion. The trunk was heavy. There seemed to be several doors inside. When Great Grand lifted the lid, I saw them lying in a row, eyes shut. They looked as if they were fast asleep. You can wake them up, said Great Grand. I gently lifted a beautiful big lifted a beautiful big door with long blonde hair out of the trunk. She had a white nightie, but no slippers on her china fit. Her tiny toenails were painted pink. One of her hands was missing, but I didn't mind a bit. She's beautiful, I whispered, cradling herself. That's Alice. I expect she's a little chilly in that thin nightgown. Perhaps you'd like to find some clothes for her, said Great Gran. The second truck was crammed with neatly folded outfits, party frocks, winter coats, trims with fur, sailor suits, checked pinafores, laced edge underwear, black knitted stockings, and the little boots with the tiny pearl buttons. My hat hovered happily above the clothes. Go on, have a little search though, but I don't get rumpled, said Great Gran. I sifted through the clothes with trembling fingers and found a pale blue smoked dress with a white lace collar and a darker blue stained sash. Can she wear this one? I think that's Alice's favorite outfit, says Great Gran. I dressed Alice, moving her arms and legs very gently indeed. The blue sleeves were a little long for her, so her missing hand didn't show. She looked perfect. Then I woke Sophie and Charlotte and little Edward and Winnie Clementine and got them all dressed up. There, don't they look smart? All ready for a party, said Great Gran, and she opened another box. There was a little blue and white door's tea set inside. I thought we'd pretend the party there, but Great Gran made very pink rosehip tea and opened a packet of tiny round ice biscuits that just fitted the plate. We were still enjoying our party when Sam came to fetch me home. Have you enjoyed yourself, Lizzie? He asked. I didn't say anything not to Sam, but I noticed so hard that my head hurt. When I kissed Great Gran goodbye on her powdered cheek, I whispered, Please, can I come again?